You've just spent the last 8, 10, 14 hours on a plane to get to Japan. You're on the ground, you've got your bags, you're ready to hit the ground running and spend the next 1, 2, 3 weeks going from Hokkaido to Fukuoka and seeing everything that there is to see. Not so fast. There's a lot of things that you need to know before we get going. So I'm here to show you what those things are. Let's get to it. So unless you're flying into Japan from someplace like Australia, Korea, or Guam, you're probably going to be on your flight for a long time and coming from a very different time zone. The first thing I'd suggest is do your best to start acclimating yourself to Japan's time zone at least 24 hours before your arrival. If you can get your body on your new sleep schedule before you arrive, you'll already be one step ahead of the game and ready to begin your adventure from the moment you step out of the airport without having to play catch up with your sleep. I know you want to get your Japan adventure started, but before you leave the airport, you'll need to get a few things in order. Cash, currency, Wi-Fi and internet, transportation arrangements, luggage forwarding, and more. There are even a few things you can and should start taking care of before you leave home. We're going to cover all of this and hopefully eliminate some of your anxieties and make your arrival into Japan as smooth as possible. Before you even leave home, there are a few apps that you should install and become familiar with. These will make your travel easier when it comes to language translation as well as navigating the country. The first two apps that people usually think of are Google Maps and Google Translate. However, these are not always the best and you need to know that there are other options. First, let's look at language translation. This is important because you don't want to be like this guy.
Konnichiwa. Watashi wa John desu. Shinjuku wa doko desu ka? Ah, arigato.
Again, Google Translate is okay, but most Japanese will tell you that these translations sound strange. A couple of better apps are called Papago and DeepL. Although no app will translate into perfect native Japanese, these apps offer a more natural translation. I'll put links below. As far as getting around the country and navigating, there are many apps to choose from, but I'll share my go-tos for these apps. If you're driving or walking, Google Maps is probably the best app for you. When walking, Google Maps actually has a real-time view that will display the path in front of you and show you exactly where to go. I often use this when walking in unfamiliar areas. When driving, Google Maps does a decent job, but it can also take you on some very narrow back streets if it detects that the main streets are congested. This is not a problem, but just realize that these streets may be very narrow and you'll need to take your time and use caution. The Waze app is also a good option for driving and can be used if you're more comfortable with this option. As far as navigating the train system, there are many apps to choose from. I'll share the two I use the most. For navigating the rail system, I recommend an app called Japan Transit Planner. Simply put in your current train station, then the station you want to go to. The app will usually give you several train options. It'll tell you how much each train will cost, what time it departs and arrives, and also tells you what platform you need to catch the train on. If you miss your train, just hit the search button again and the app will recalculate the new time and route. If Google Maps is your thing, it can also be a good option for navigating the trains. Unlike the Japan Transit Planner app, Google Maps recognizes your current location and will actually use your phone's camera to show you how to get to the train station using a live view of the area you're in. So here's your homework. Download these apps and get familiar with them before you arrive in Japan. Again, I'll put the links to them down below. The last thing you want is to be struggling with how to use an app when you just want to go enjoy Japan. Once you arrive, you'll obviously collect your baggage and go through security and customs. This is a pretty standard process and will not be covered in this video. There are several places to get information on this, including your airline's website. Also, a quick Google search for Japan Airport Security and Customs should provide you with a host of information. As far as vaccine requirements go, this seems to change weekly, so I suggest you check the Japanese Embassy website to get the most up-to-date information. Okay, so you've got your bags, you've processed security and customs, and you've stepped into the main terminal. Now what? You obviously need Japanese yen, you need your phone set up for Wi-Fi and internet, you need transportation to your hotel as well as for the remainder of your stay in Japan. And instead of trying to lug heavy bags with you on a train or bus, you may also want to look into having your luggage forwarded to your hotel or even another city in Japan through one of Japan's luggage forwarding services. Fortunately, true to Japanese fashion, they have made this a very simple process and can be handled right in the arrival terminal of the airport. This video was taken at Haneda, and the area I'm in is just to the right of the exit from airport security. Narita or any other airport you fly into will have a similar area where you can get everything set up. These nice young ladies are very helpful and have everything you need to get your Wi-Fi connected. SIM cards, pocket Wi-Fi, and even entire phones. Check out their website at anyphone.jp/en for everything you need to know about getting your Wi-Fi connected while you're in Japan. The airport even has self-serve Wi-Fi kiosks if you're inclined to help yourself. The bottom line is, there is no shortage of Wi-Fi options to keep you connected during your stay. Further down, at the very end of the arrival terminal, you'll find luggage delivery services. These services will take your bags and deliver them directly to your hotel or even other cities in Japan. These typically guarantee same-day service if you drop them off before 11 a.m., but check with each provider. The cost for this service will vary depending on the size and weight of your bag and where you're sending it. This is a very convenient service if you don't want to carry heavy bags on the train, or if you just want to begin exploring Japan immediately after leaving the airport without the burden of carrying heavy bags while sightseeing. One of these services, JAL ABC, is actually a one-stop shop where you can take care of your Wi-Fi and luggage forwarding all at one location. As always, I'll have a link to this at the bottom. Okay, so you've got your Wi-Fi and luggage taken care of. Now let's get some Japanese yen. It's my personal opinion that you won't need to get yen before you arrive since you won't need it until you actually get here. And you'll likely get a better exchange rate here in Japan. Your first thought might be to go to the currency exchange counter, which is right outside the security and customs exit, but my suggestion and personal opinion is don't. Instead, use your debit card at one of the ATMs right next to the exchange counter. Yes, you will pay a processing fee, but this still comes out to be a better exchange rate than using the exchange counter. ATMs are located at every convenience store in Japan, which those are everywhere. So you can exchange what you need, when you need it, and where you need it. The word is that Japan is a very cash-based society. But that myth is quickly changing and many places do accept credit cards. If you can do this and you are responsible with your credit debt, this is by far the best way to pay for things. You'll get a real-time exchange rate and you'll collect your credit card points. Again, I only suggest using credit if you are responsible with your debt. Another tip on using your credit or debit card while you're traveling in Japan is to be sure and notify your bank and credit card company that you're going to be traveling abroad. This will prevent any security freezes on your account when your bank begins to detect new international charges. Alright, you're almost ready to leave the airport and see Japan, but you need to know how you're getting to your next destination. Are you taking a shuttle bus, taxi, train, or renting a car? Both Haneda and Narita offer limousine shuttle bus services into parts of Tokyo and Yokohama. Again, this service is located in the main arrival terminals of the airport and can't be missed. You can get more information on this and even schedule your shuttle ahead of time by visiting their websites. If you've decided to rent a car, you can pick it up at the same location as the shuttle bus and limousine ticketing services. There's just one more method of transportation that we'll discuss in this video, and it's the one you'll likely be using the most: the Japan rail system. At first glance, the rail, subway, and Shinkansen system can seem very intimidating, but set your anxieties aside and arm yourself with a couple of apps and some information and you'll be just fine. A lot of you have asked about rail passes and which is the best. In this video, I'll provide some basic information on rail passes, but in the end, this is just something that you'll need to spend some time researching for yourself to see what option works best for your specific needs. If you are planning to purchase a rail pass, just remember that this needs to be done before you leave your home country, and the clock will start ticking on your pass when you first use it. Earlier in this video, I mentioned a couple of apps that I personally use for navigating the rail system. Again, I suggest you download these apps and get familiar with them before you arrive. Put a few starting and ending points into the apps just to see how they work. Since you'll likely be using the train for most of your transportation around Japan, you'll want to buy a Pasmo or Suica card. This is different from a rail pass, which has a time limit and can only be used for certain trains. The Pasmo or Suica card can be used for commuter trains, buses, vending machines, and can also be used at most convenience stores. Simply purchase the card for 500 yen and charge it up as often as you like with any of the ticketing machines at any train station. I personally have a Pasmo card and have used it on trains all over Japan without any issues. So how do you get your Pasmo or Suica card? Simply walk up to any of the ticketing kiosks in the terminal with the yen you just got from the ATM. These machines will only accept cash. Select your language, select the card you want to purchase, select the option to purchase a new card. After this, you can also select an option to put a name on your card. I purchased the option for no name. Finally, select how much you want to put on your card. I recommend starting with at least 3,000 yen. Again, you can always add more later. Insert your cash and wait for the machine to print your new card and give you your change. And voila! It's that easy. You're now ready to get out of the airport and get on your first train. If you ever want to track your card usage and check your balance, you can do this at any ticketing kiosk, or you can download any number of Suica or Pasmo tracking apps from the Apple Store or Google Play. When your stay in Japan is over and you no longer need your commuter card, you can simply turn it in to any rail attendant at any train station. You don't even need to know Japanese to do this. You can just walk up to the window, hand them your card, and say, "Return." They'll happily refund your card's balance minus the 500 yen you paid for the card. Alright, let's get out of the airport. Today I'm headed from Haneda to Tokyo Station, so let's try using Google Maps to navigate from Haneda's Terminal 3, the International Terminal, to Tokyo Station. First, we enter our destination and starting point. Then Google Maps will give us several options to choose from that will vary in cost and duration. This is a pretty short trip, so I'll choose the scenic route of the Tokyo monorail. Google Maps shows that I'll catch the monorail at Haneda's Terminal 3 station at 12:34 on platform number 2. It shows that the train is not too crowded, and that I should get on car number 3 for a faster transfer at my transfer station. This leg will take 14 minutes and I'll change trains at Hamamatsucho. Here I'll get on the Keihin Tohoku line on platform 1 and I'll arrive at Tokyo Station at 12:57. Alright, let's go see Japan. Just tap your new card on the gate sensor and it'll magically open the gates to Japan. When I arrive at Tokyo Station or change train lines, I'll do the same in reverse and the fare will automatically be deducted from the balance of my card. Google Maps says that I'll catch the monorail at platform 2. Train station signage is usually very clear and easy to follow. Alright, we're at the platform, but we just missed our train. Oh well, no worries. Another one will be along shortly. At this point, if you want to update your map's itinerary, just search your starting point and destination again, and you'll get updated times. I've learned that when life gives you breaks, just take them. So we'll just take a moment and enjoy the view from the airport until the next train arrives. And just like clockwork, here comes the next train. If you've decided to hang on to your luggage, the monorail has space for you to put your bags. While you're on the train, be sure to pay attention to when you'll arrive at your station so you don't miss your stop.
Transfer is available to the GR line, J3, J1 train, Osaka line, A train, and Osaka line, B train. Please make sure that you have all...
While we're on the train and heading into Tokyo, this is a really good time for you to go ahead and smash that like button. I've arrived at Hamamatsucho, and Google Maps said that I need to transfer to the Keihin Tohoku line, which is a JR line. Just follow the signs and you'll be fine. One note on escalators. Japanese will stand to one side of the escalator. This courtesy allows those in a hurry to easily get by. Which side of the escalator depends on what area of Japan you're in. Just follow what others are doing. Well, this is our train from Hamamatsucho to Tokyo Station. I think you've got the idea of how this works now. Just follow your apps, follow the signs, and if you're feeling friendly, don't hesitate to ask a local for help. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how eager they are to assist. You're gonna do fine. One more final tip before we go. Speaking loudly or talking on the phone while on the train is unacceptable. Please be respectful and avoid doing this. Well guys, that about wraps it up. I've given you my tips, guidance, and advice on what to do in your first hour after arriving in Japan. The rest is up to you. Okay, I lied. One more final bit of advice. Don't try to pack what should take 3 or 4 weeks of travel into just 1 week. Take your time and just enjoy what Japan puts in front of you. Japan is a very complex culture of modern technology mixed with ancient traditions. When you come to Japan, just please be respectful of the people and their culture. Don't expect them to adapt to your culture. Please be respectful and adapt to theirs. And that final favor. If you found this video even the slightest bit helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be making more videos to help you discover Japan. While making this video, I made a few new friends, and they asked me to pass on a special message just for you.
Welcome to Japan! Welcome to Japan! Yay! Welcome to Japan!